Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Wyatt, and I'm with the American Orthodontic Society, and I'm pushing that society wherever you are in the world. If you want to learn orthodontics, get in the American Orthodontic Society. I've been thinking about this thing of serial extraction. Uh, it doesn't seem to be too important or on people's mind, but it is a very important thing to learn. And if you're working on kids, or whether you're a pedodontist or a general dentist that works on kids, or whoever, you really need to know the function of serial extraction. Now, it's going to have two or three other things involved in it. Uh, One of them will be like this reduction technique where we take crowded teeth and trim down the deciduous cuspids and let the four upper and lower anterior teeth come into the mouth good. And this case is a perfect example of that. And it's also a good example of follicular movement of teeth and how they move in and line up and parallel and things that Mother Nature does with teeth. You really need to understand that if you're going to really get in there with kids and work with them. You need to know a lot of the things that are involved in this. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start this one. This going to show you one case, but it's going to take a little time, and you'll have to spend a little time if you learn this, but it'll be worth your while. Here is a young lady that we started treating in 1972. That's several years ago, so some of this is old pictures, but this is up-to-date stuff, and you need to understand it. She was slightly protrusive. Now, let's start off with serial extraction. You have to have somebody that is functioning properly. In other words, they're breathing through their mouth. Excuse me, they're breathing through their nose, and they're keeping their mouth closed. They don't have any tongue thrusts or any sucking habits or any bad habits or anything. They're normal, but they need to be pretty crowded and a little bit on the full side. Now, this young lady has some crowding. She's not a real bad crowded case, but it worked out beautifully well, and you can see we've got some fullness in her face. When she's quite young, it's still there, a little bit here. And now after she gets older and we've done the serial extraction procedure, we've got a very nice profile there to go on. We'll just start out now and start showing the stuff. This is their set of models that you can see the crowding, and you can see it's a pretty good class 1 case. And so you need to have class 1 situations. It's best. You can do it on others, but you'll have problems and you have to go back and finish them, but that's not bad. You do the second phase after the permanent teeth get in the mouth. On the side, she shows just kind of an end-to-end looking, but it's pretty much class 1, and it's worth. There's some crowding in the upper arch, not a great deal, and some in the bottom arch, not real bad. Now we're going to go through this reduction technique, and you can learn that where we reduce these cuspids and you do a pulpotomy on them, and you have to learn how to do pulpotomies on deciduous teeth, because I've done thousands of them and I never have had one blow up. And so that's ones that I've done. I had a patient was sent to me, and I sent it back to them to do this pulpotomy. They didn't do it. They sent it to an old surgeon, and I've been darned when he packed the zinc oxide eugenol, or he didn't pack it. He just kind of smeared it over the hole there, put it in there without any pressure. It wasn't stiff enough, and the two teeth abscessed on us. So that's the only time that I know of doing that. But pulpotomies, and learn how to do them, learn how to do that reduction technique, and this is a perfect example of these teeth just line up perfectly when we reduce these deciduous cuspids on the bottom and the top, you see. Now this is 1972, and this slide is just a few years old here, but the thing we're doing here is up to date, and it works today just as good as it ever did, and it'll be that way 100 years from now, if that's what people want to do. Okay, the cephalometric picture, we've got a little bit of fullness in here, not a great deal, and this is 1972, and this young lady is 6 years old when we started working on it. Now this is where you don't do much orthodontics, but you just watch the patient and you know what to do and how to do it, and you can come out with some good results, really. And if you have to finish them up a little or touch them up a little, it's not a big deal. So serial extraction is a very good thing. And this deal about never extracting teeth on people is ridiculous. So don't buy that. I've got a perfect thing to show you or tell you one of these days why you do need to extract teeth every once in a while, not real often. All right, here it is. She's 11 years now and 8 months old, and you can see the mouth is pretty full right there. Some crowding, but not a great deal of crowding. So we decided to go in and do this reduction technique, or we call it a slicing technique. It's got a whole video on it. You need to go over that if you get into this. Now, we took this Panorex. This was in 72, and it was a kind of a borderline case. So we put a little tiny X on the first bicuspids, just showing that we had thought about possibly reducing or taking the first bicuspids out. So you see the little X on there. And if you do that, you take out the deciduous teeth, and you go in here, and we're going to slice these deciduous cuspids and go down real far. I mean, we do a pulpotomy on each one of them, you see. And we give these 4 anterior teeth right across here plenty of room, and if they've got normal function and everything, it works out great. I mean, the tongue pushes the teeth out to where they need to go, and the lips and the tongues catch it. I'm going to run back to that ceph just a minute and show you this patient has an excellent airway. I mean, it is a real good airway. And so they breathe through their nose, and they're not mouth breathers. Mouth breathers and people with a lot of other, where they're mouth breathers and tongue thrusters and sucking on something, this doesn't work good. You can do it, but it's real crowded, but it doesn't work out good. So I wanted to show you that airway, how open it is on that person. And apparently they've got good tonsils too. Okay, we're back over on the x-ray, the first one we took, and we realized it's going to be something, either the reduction of them, so we tried the reduction first, and it just didn't do it all. I'll show you that later. Now here's a Panorex that we took after we did the reduction of the teeth. See, these deciduous cuspids have had pulpotomies on them right here. Took the pulp out, reduced this cuspid down, and now the 4 anterior teeth are going to have plenty of room to line up, and the person has good pressure on the inside and lip pressure. They've got their mouth closed, and the teeth go out there and line up just real good with this reduction of these teeth. You'll have to look at the picture of this in a little bit. You can see how this works. But those upper and lower 4 anterior teeth are lined up just almost ideal by simply giving them some room works on a person like that. Now, here we took this Panorex. We had decided that even if we get the cuspids in into the next phase of it, when you do that, you take the deciduous cuspid that you've done the slice on and the first deciduous molar and take it out. And if you're going to continue with this slicing technique, you come in and take the second deciduous molar. Just cut enough off of it so that your bicuspid can fit in this gap right here. In other words, if you're going to keep this, it'd come up in here. And you take this off. That's your first bi. Your second bi could have room enough in here to come in. Normally it would come in. So that's the way we do the reduction technique or the slicing technique. But we'd have to expand this some to get it in, and the little girl's already fuller than I really like for it to be. So we're going to take these permanent teeth out. Now, I would send them somewhere and get these bicuspids removed right here, all at one time. Now, first we take the deciduous teeth, let them come up a little bit, and then we come in and take the bicuspids out. Now, let's go to the next Panorex here. After that has happened, I can't see the date on this, but this is the next Panorex. So the bicuspids have been removed. The cuspids came up and lined up right into place. See there, they've come in, and this bicuspid made it, and that one's coming in, and these are on their way. So we took out these 2 deciduous teeth right there, and let me show you a little bit later down the line. There's the bicuspids. We remove this, and you see what the result of it was. Now, if I go here, came to that point, we took that out, and in 1977, the teeth were in there like that. I had no orthodontic appliances in her mouth at all. Just a matter of knowing when to go in there and take them out, and what to take out, and how to do it, and how it's going to affect the profile. Now, another thing, this young lady had wisdom teeth, and when we took that bicuspid in this area out, this moved forward partly, and look at how your wisdom tooth is setting in here now. Got a gap in between there. This one over here the same way coming in, and her wisdom teeth will come in the mouth before we finish. I'll show you the slides, or show you the picture on that. This is 1977, and it's coming along good. Now, let's erase those things and come on a little further. here it is in 1979, and these teeth are in. The wisdom teeth are coming up. That's a old Panorix. It's been made for many years there before I took the pictures of it. Okay, now here the same person is in, I can't tell what the date on that is, 1980, I think, something like that. And the wisdom teeth are just about in on this side. Over here, that's the 7th Panorex we took on this. Keep it up with it real close. And here it is in 1990. Now this is 12 years after we finished. We started in 72, which was, and we didn't do much then. We just watching the case, and then we came in and removed teeth, and we ended up with something like that. Now somebody went in and put some dadgum little plastic covers over these, covered the teeth, and they look worse now, I think, than the teeth looked. I wish they had left them alone. Now, but we've got the wisdom teeth, the second molars and the first molars, and it's lined up in a class 1 relation with a pretty good overbite and overjet, and we did this with virtually no orthodontics. In other words, just using your head to do it. And that's a good thing to learn, how these teeth move around, and that'll help you in the fixed cases that you treat, just knowing how these teeth are going to go on their own. So you need to get rid of the functional problems if you have them. And now here's the profile after we got through, and it looks doggone good to me, and everything looks fine. I'm going to go and show the smile's good. Everything worked out, and this lady's 22 or 24 years old now. That's 1990. Okay, I'm going to go through the models and show the models up to date. And here it is. That's when we started in 72. Here it is in 74. Now we had done that reduction. You see, we trimmed those teeth up. That's a perfect example of that too. You know, somebody that functions right. Look how nice and straight these teeth are. Nothing's been in their mouth other than we gave them some room. But this is a normal functioning child, and she pushed with her tongue and she held them back with her lips, and those teeth lined up in there almost ideal. You couldn't straighten them out any better than that. Now, let's see. I'm going to have, she'll open her mouth, I think, here. Yeah, okay. We opened her mouth and took a picture so you can see how everything else was. Now, these teeth have been reduced. And this is the thing you get when you do that. You don't have to straighten them. You don't have to put a darn thing on there. If they are functioning correctly and breathing correctly, the tongue pushes them out to this point, and the lip catches them right here, and that's where those teeth are the most stable they'll ever be. So you learn these things when you learn serial extraction, and you get this slicing technique down, and follicular movement, how the follicles push on the teeth. There's a whole video on both of those, so you need to go back there and look at them. That is, if you're interested in learning. And I know there's people come in here and look at this stuff, and 2 seconds or a minute or two, they're gone. It takes a lot of time to go in here to really study this stuff and figure out what's happening in their mouth. And that's what I'm interested in in getting this knowledge around to everybody that is interested in it. Now here it is close together, but now this is in 1977 and this was 1974. Now the deciduous teeth are going to be lost in here, and we also take out the first bicuspids. And now look at it in 74. The bicuspids have been removed, the teeth have come in, and it closed up the space. It gave us room for the wisdom teeth. And all this was done with no orthodontic appliances in there. But this is orthodontics. I mean, we're moving teeth around. This is a very good orthodontics. It may be hard to charge for it, but you're going to work on this person several years. You're going to watch them and take care of it. But you can do it with virtually nothing. Now here it is in 1990, and somebody talked her into covering those teeth, and I'd like to kick him. I wish he'd have left them alone. They don't need any covering like that. It looks like they don't have. Let's go back and look at the teeth. There, her teeth are a little bit of stain on her teeth. No big problem. I would rather have these without all that mess over them any day. So somebody talked her into that, and probably needed to pay the rent or something. But that, to me, is a bunch of mess. I'm sorry that he put that on there. Okay, here they are in 74. We're going to look at them from the side, and this is the right side. You can see where we trimmed that tooth down and nothing else, just gave him some room, and the tongue pushed him into that position. And if there'd have been a little bit more room and she hadn't been as full, we would have left those in, and we would have got all those teeth in the mouth with this technique without doing any braces to speak of on there. Now here it is where we extracted the teeth, so you see the side of the teeth here, the way it was, and here it develops after we took the teeth out. Now let's go on to this is 1990, so it's stable, it's there. We put a retainer in it, but I don't think I don't even remember wearing a retainer. Maybe we didn't even use one. Didn't need to, because the pressure in the mouth was what put them where they are, and it stayed that way. I'm sorry I didn't even use a retainer here at all on this case. Okay, here's the other side in 74. Well, there it was in 72. And this is 1990. This is a very, very poor film, but you can see that it's in place good in 1990. That's 18 years after we started. That's 72, the upper. And here it is in 74, I think, after we had done the reduction of these teeth, you see. And this is lined up just perfect. The tongue had pushed them out there. That's normal function does that. See. Now, and there it is in 1977, after we had done the extraction and let them come in and filled in. That was in 77. Now I think it's 90. Here it is in 90, and you can see that acrylic or composite they put over the front of those teeth. I don't care for that. So there's 1990. Here's the bottom in 72. Here it is where we had done the slicing technique. In the next phase, we'll take these teeth out. If you've got room, then the cuspid will come in here, Then you reduce this tooth right here and leave room enough for the second bicuspid, and the first bicuspid was filled in right here, and the cuspid would come in there. So we could have done that, but she was a little fuller than I liked the face, and so we removed the bicuspids, and that let the back teeth come forward a good bit, and there's plenty of room for the wisdom teeth. So I don't know that you would have to take the wisdom. You would have had to take the wisdom teeth out, but they came in with plenty of room because of this, taking those bicuspids out. Now here we'll be in 74. Now you don't have you don't have control over the rotation of the teeth. And that's one thing where some of these cases you come back, you have to kind of rotate some of the teeth and line them up. But the orthodontics is really simple, and you can finish them out. Now here it is, I think about 80 somewhere. And this is 1990. And here is the young lady after we finished. She's 24 years old, I think. She was 6 years old in 72, so I believe that makes it. And that is serial extraction. I think that's our last slide. So it involves this follicular movement of teeth. It involves this we call it slicing technique, but it's done with a burr. And then just extracting the teeth and seeing these teeth move together. So the whole ball game, if you're working on kids, you need to understand that. There's some kids I did that were on the mission field, and they couldn't possibly get to orthodontist at all. I had a chest surgeon, and his daughter had the problem there, and we did a serial extraction on her, and he helped me do it. And that's all she got. But her teeth came in nice, but they weren't perfect. So when he got out of the mission and came back, he was in Corpus Christi, I think, and he had an orthodontist come in and kind of touch him up a little bit, but that's all they needed. So if you're treating kids, gosh, learn this technique. It's not a difficult thing. It just takes some time and takes an understanding what normal function does. And that helps you in all kinds of orthodontic situations. So I'm going to close out now, and I hope you read this or listen to it or look at it or whatever. Wherever you are. I didn't realize how far these things would go, but they travel all over the world. So I'm going to stop, and I hope you learn from this and use it. I've used it for years, and it really works good.